Good Thursday morning, television family. Good to see you again. Back out of here. We're going to work fairly hard today, I think. That'll be my gift to you. It is Thursday, 24th day of October, 2024, and I am Dan Kuntz. 37 degrees outside, and that's the warm spot for most of our viewing area. It is very chilly. It's well below freezing in many locations. We're not done. We're at 37 now. We're probably going to dip down at least a degree or two before we start climbing that ladder. A lot of sunshine today, a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Big changes coming over the weekend. It starts Friday night. The weekend looks warmer than normal and pretty wet. We could use the rain. Forecast details will be first out of the chute, followed by the news, followed by sports, followed by everything else. It's Thursday. Pause for pets. Rhoda the dog needs a home from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we continue our series of interviews with the candidates who want to serve you in Olympia. You might be living in District 7 now, which you probably weren't just a couple of years ago. Two Republicans are vying for the legislative District 7 seat, Andrew Engel and Sue Ing Moody, both Republicans. And you'll see that interview with Jefferson Robbins in the back half of the program. It's a busy day. Let's go to it. Let's not waste any of your time, nor mine for that matter. There is the Wenatchee Valley from our cross cam or our heights cam, whatever you prefer. Looks like that's panned about as far back as we can pan it. We hit 57 yesterday for our official high. We'll be just about that today, maybe a couple of degrees cooler. Our normal high is 56, so right about normal. Sunrise this morning won't be until 7:33. Sunset tonight, 5:55. That's 10 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. Let's see what Rocky Ridge Dam looks like. Well, it looks like that. The Omi Garden camera, again, that one is panned out quite a bit. You can see a rather significant hunk of the Baker Flats industrial area. Lake Antioch behind the dam, the reservoir behind the dam, and the mighty Columbia. It rolls right along, and I don't see a cloud in the sky. That's why it's chilly. I mean, real cold. Camera number 3 will take us all the way up to Bill E. Goat, USA, Okanagan County. In Omak, it's 25 degrees. Ephrata, 25. Ellensburg is 39. Moses Lake, 27. Isn't that some cold temperatures out there? It is chilly. And finally, Lake Wenatchee. Ta-da! Beautiful view there. A couple of days ago, we had that big cloud fog cover right over the top of the lake. Not so today. They have a few more clouds up there to the northwest of us, but outside of that, it's another beautiful morning in Lake Wenatchee. It looks like they lost some snow up in the Cascades. Well, we're not quite there yet, but we could see a little bit of snow in the mountains over the weekend, and the temperatures continue to be very chilly. For the overnight lows, this is the updated. Again, we could go down. We're at 37 now. We could go down to right around 35 before this day is over. Going to be chilly again when you get up tomorrow morning, and then warm. Then we're going to be fairly mild coming up the weekend, but the trade-off, of course, is going to be the rain, and quite a bit of it, which is fine. We need the rain. But we got 2 more days, this morning and tomorrow morning, with some pretty chilly overnight temperatures before things warm up for the weekend. From the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. Still under the influence of that ridge of high pressure. It's a flat ridge, but there's also nothing out there knocking it out of alignment. So we do it again. Sunshine at 56, 34 for the overnight low tonight. Sunshine at 56 on Friday, most of the day on Friday. And then finally, this ridge of high pressure shifts off to the east, and here comes some active weather. Cloudy, a 50% chance of rain Friday night, 39 for the overnight low. Chance of rain Saturday at 40% with a high of 61. We're going to get rain Saturday night. Of that, there's no doubt. And rain pretty much all day Sunday. That's what it's looking like. We dry out a little bit on Monday, and then we go back to a chance of rain by the time we get to Wednesday. There's a possibility anyway. By the way, the snow level early Wednesday morning is going to be at 3,200 feet. So we could see some light dusting of snow in the foothills around the Wenatchee Valley, and those weekend temperatures above normal for this time of the year. All right, now you know what Mother Nature has in plan. In 2 minutes, you got your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect, one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin Independent and Assisted Living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
I'm Keith Gaynor, running for your next 12th District State Senator. It's been a privilege to serve you the past 6 years in the House of Representatives. I believe public safety is a critical issue that affects all of Washington. This should be one of our highest priorities. Washington families are struggling. Housing, food, and gas prices are severely affecting our budgets. We need to find better ways to support our families. Together, we can build a better Washington.
During the time I have served as your commissioner, the PUD has paid down more than $700 million in debt. I've worked hard to keep power rates low and utility services reliable. More than 80% of the county residents have access to high-speed fiber. I'm a real believer in local collaboration, in decision-making to get things done on behalf of all residents, and decisions made creating the best outcomes for the most people for the longest period. Thank you for your vote on November 5th.
Clear skies, 36 degrees, bountiful sunshine today and tomorrow. We start getting rain Friday, warmer than normal temperatures, and quite a bit of rain, especially Saturday night and Sunday. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Authorities have released the last known photograph of that elderly man who's been missing for nearly a month in the Clackham area. 89-year-old William Charlie Martin suffers from dementia. He drove away from his home in Redmond without his family's knowledge. Martin was last seen in the Wenatchee area on September 26th when a surveillance image was captured outside of a business in Wenatchee. His vehicle was found that very same day. There is the photo, the last known photo of Charlie Martin. His vehicle was found in Bushy Creek Road in the Kittitas County area of the Clackham. Of course, the Clackham extends from southern Chelan County into northern Kittitas County. Sheriff's deputies believe he abandoned the car, left on foot. Several search efforts have come up empty. If you're traveling in the Clackham area, whether for hunting or other purposes, you're asked to keep an eye out for evidence of Martin's presence, and you can phone in a tip. If you think you know what might be going on, give Rivercom a call. Over 100 homes across 3 multifamily housing projects will see improvements after a local housing agency received $4.2 million in federal grants and loans. The Housing Authority of Chelan County and the City of Wenatchee was awarded the funds by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to repair farm worker housing. USDA Rural Housing Administrator Joaquin Altoro came all the way from our nation's capital to join the Housing Authority for the announcement of the funds.
We have many different programs within the Rural Housing Service, and one of them is our off-farm labor and on-farm labor housing. And so they applied for financing and grants through the program. And so we are very excited to announce today nearly $4 million out of our $18 million bucket for farm worker housing grants. And so you could imagine how exciting it is because that's a really big number. You know, we're here in Washington, and you know we're announcing this nationally, but we know that the need is important and the need is necessary here. Those dollars will be used for updating, providing accessibility, and I think it's really important. So we're excited.
Clean energy, resilient services, and keeping the lights on for future generations. That was the top of the list of wishes from Chelan County PUD ratepayers. The Public Utilities surveyed more than 1,700 customer owners on its Imagine 2075 project that's aimed at guiding its priorities over the next 50 years. The PUD says respondents placed investment in equipment, people, and technology at the top of their list, followed by making sure energy and water remain available for the future in second place, and investing in clean energy resources came in third. Over the next month, the survey results will be incorporated into the first draft of the PUD's 50-year vision document. That document will be used to build the agency's next strategic plan. A Wenatchee Foothills Trail is closed for upgrade work. The Maiden Lane connector, that's between the Kenzie's Landing trailhead and the Homewater Preserve area. It's closed until November 8th while the Chelan Douglas Land Trust makes improvements with the help of the Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance. It's part of a larger complex of trail work that's going on in the foothills. Native plants are being reseeded right now in the area that was damaged by the balsam root fire back in the summer. It's a $29,000 project involving the Land Trust, the Cascadia Conservation District, and the city of Wenatchee. And each and every year we report on the cultural exchange that takes place between the Wenatchee Valley and our sister city, Misawa, Japan. They come here for apple blossom. We go there in October. You ever wonder what the news coverage looks like in Misawa? Well, they have their own online news service, and when the delegates, including 2 city council members, arrived for their visit earlier this month, the cameras were there. Here's how Misawa greeted.
10月1日から6日までの6日間にわたって三沢市の姉妹都市であるアメリカ・ワシントン州のウェナッチ市と東ウェナッチ市から友好親善使節団が来訪しました。三沢市は1931年に世界初の太平洋無着陸横断飛行を達成したミス・ビードル号の離陸地という歴史的な背景のもと、着陸地であるアメリカ・ワシントン州ウェナッチバレーのウェナッチ市と1981年に、東ウェナッチ市と2001年に姉妹都市を締結し、使節団を派遣するなどして交流を深めています。今回三沢市を訪れた使節団員は、ウェナッチ市のリンダ・ヘラルド市議会議員と東ウェナッチ市のマシュー・ヘプナー市議会議員を団長に、高校生ら学生7名を含む総勢15名で国際交流教育センターのセンターホールでは、出迎えた三沢第一幼稚園の園児から花束や歌が贈られました。場所をイベントホールに移して行われた歓迎セレモニーでは、小檜山市長が三沢での6日間をエンジョイしていただきたい、さまざまな交流行事やホストファミリーとの生活を心ゆくまで楽しんでくださいと使節団を歓迎しました。一人一人団員が紹介され、手厚い歓迎を受けたリンダ・ヘラルド使節団長は、ホストファミリーと仲良くなり、日本の文化と習慣に触れ合えることも楽しみにしていますと、マシュー・ヘプナー使節団長は、数年間三沢へ派遣される機会を待ち続け楽しみにしていました。やっと来ることができて本当に嬉しいですと感謝の言葉を述べました。セレモニー後、使節団一行は6日間の滞在中、ホームステイする家族と対面し、握手やハイタッチを交わしていました。翌2日、市役所を訪れた使節団一行は、ロビーで市職員から温かい歓迎を受け、その後、小檜山市長を表敬訪問しました。市政や町に関するさまざまな質問を小檜山市長に投げかけ、短くも意義のある時間を過ごしていました。
そうなんです。その施設が近くにあって、コロラド川ね。
3日には国際交流教育センターで日本料理を体験するため、手巻き寿司作りに挑戦。ボランティアで参加した三沢国際交流協会の皆さんの作り方を真似ながら、慎重に寿司を巻き、完成した手巻き寿司を味わっていました。
美味しい。
その日の夕方には、浴衣やジンベエに身を包んだ使節団一行が、琴や三味線、民謡、習字など日本の文化を学ぶ体験も行われました。琴の演奏方法を学ぶ姿や、慣れない筆を使って字を書く姿からは、日本の文化を吸収したいという思いが伝わり、貴重な時間を過ごしていました。
All of a sudden, I want some sushi. That's the news at quarter after the hour. The news will come your way tonight on television. At 5, 6, and 10, we invite you to watch the NCW Life Evening News. 5, 6, and 10, also up and running on the World Wide Web, so you can watch the news whenever you want to by going to our homepage, ncwlife.com, our Facebook page, and our YouTube page, and send us an email if you think something out there is newsworthy. When we come back, sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
Do you hate getting called by Medicare telemarketers? Well, this October, your phone is going to be ringing off the hook because we will be experiencing a huge Medicare change. Now, for the last 20 years, Springwater Insurance has been helping those of you on Medicare. So just say no to those telemarketers by not answering their ads. Instead, call a local agent like Springwater Insurance, who's been helping for 20 years. So give us a call at Springwater. We can meet at one of our 5 offices or give us a call.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Sports. Once again, our cameras will be in Kashmir tonight for high school football. Of course, the last time we were in Kashmir 3 weeks ago, Kashmir got crushed by Royal 55-14. Hopefully this game will be a little closer. It's the bronze shoe game between the Bulldogs and the Goats. Coach Brian Bremer of Kashmir says when they moved to their new conference, there was no doubt they were going to keep that tradition going.
Yeah, it was like a no-brainer. Like, it's whether or not you're going to play Cascade or you're going to play Chelan. You've got to play for a trophy every year. And for us to play for the Pear Bowl or us to play for the bronze shoe, it was really important to every community, all 3 communities, that something were to happen, that we would make that happen with our only non-league contest. So it's like the new conference, new routines, but same tradition. Got to have the same type of games, and this is one of those throwback, throw the records out and let's put them down and let's roll.
The Goats come in with a 2-5 record. Kashmir is 6-1. Despite all that, Bremer says he's been warning his players do not overlook Chelan.
This would make Chelan's season. They're 2-5. We're whatever we are, 6-1, and the records aren't the same. We know that, but we know that this would make their season, getting a victory here and bring that bronze shoe back to their hallway. So our guys are pretty laser focused on not allowing that to happen. And the great thing that I believe is a Thursday matchup is there's not time to think about it. Like, we're getting our bodies healthy, we're getting our walkthroughs done, we're getting our special teams put in, our game plan put in, and bada bing, bada boom, we're playing a game.
Chelan has not beat Kashmir in 10 years for the bronze shoe. Bulldog quarterback Ryland Hatmaker says the records don't matter.
It means a lot just for the tradition and the history of it, and just winning them is a big deal no matter what. To everyone that's also played, it just means a lot to everyone in the community.
Okay, I'm going to test you here. Bill Lippincott, that is his cleat that's up on top of it. What shoe is it, left or right?
I think left.
You are correct. It is the left. All right, nice job.
Eric continued his bronze shoe quiz with wide receiver Tom McDevitt.
Bronze shoe, Bill Lippincott. I asked a little trivia question. So Bill Lippincott went to what university?
Oh, boy. Big school or little school?
Well, it's a little school in Southeast Washington. Well, some would call it a little school. It's one of the only ones left in the Pac-12.
Oh, Pac-12. Washington State.
Yeah, okay, you got it. From Okanagan, originally, Bill Lippincott, one of the best athletes, according to all the research, in all of Eastern Washington of all time. So, that means a lot to both the Kashmir community and the Chelan community. What would it mean to you to have that trophy stay right here?
I mean, it's not. This trophy's not about me. It's more about the community. All the players that have played in this game before. Just want to win it for them.
So we will be there tonight. Now, this game is not going to be on television. It's going to be streaming on our Facebook page. We'll televise it tomorrow, and so at 7 o'clock. And by the way, there are other games tonight in the SCAC, and that includes Royal at home against Natchez Valley. That is at 6 o'clock. Caribou Trail League up the road. You got Cascade hosting OMAC at the right along the river at 7:30 tonight. Prep volleyball last night. Your winners, Othello, Antioch, OMAC. They all won in prep volleyball. There's a lot of volleyball tonight. Take a look at the schedule to see who you want to go see in prep volleyball tonight. Believe it or not, for the smaller schools, it's already playoff times. It's district playoffs for prep girls soccer tonight. There is your schedule. Go out and check it out, and be sure to wear long underwear. The Wenatchee Wild got creamed last night in Everett. Everett, of course, has the best record in the league. They had a 3-0 lead just 9 minutes into the first period, and they rolled from there. The final there was 6-1. Wenatchee returns home tomorrow night. Tri-City Americans will be in town. And the Seattle Kraken, they're back at home ice in NHL play. Winnipeg is in town, 7 o'clock at Climate Pledge Arena on Kong TV. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 21 minutes after the hour. My Baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. My Baloney has a second name. It's MAYER. It's National Bologna Day. Today, of course, from Bologna, or Bologna, Italy, but it's actually the Germans who gave us our appetite for bologna because they loved mortadella, the German immigrants, but they couldn't find any mortadella in the United States when they immigrated here, so they made it themselves in Pennsylvania, and it turned out to be their own version of mortadella, and it became our bologna. Bologna really took off during the Great Depression because it was inexpensive. Still is, when you think about it. Happy National Bologna Day today. Today in history, October 24th, 1901, on her 63rd birthday, Annie Edson Taylor becomes the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. She wanted to get rich by doing it. She didn't. She survived. It was very well publicized. She did get some money from this crazy stunt, and then her manager made off with the actual barrel, and she spent whatever money she had left on private investigators trying to find the damn barrel. She went over it's amazing, and it was a rudimentary barrel. It was just a barrel with a mattress in it. She survived. I was on this date in 1901. 95 years ago today, Black Thursday on the New York Stock Exchange. Things continue to slide downhill. A bunch of bankers continue to prop up the stock market, but this wasn't going to last forever. Black Thursday, 95 years ago today. Happy 93rd birthday to the busiest bridge in the world. The George Washington Bridge opens to traffic over the Hudson River, connects New Jersey to New York. It is the busiest bridge in the world. 300,000 vehicles cross that bridge every day. That's 110 million cars and automobiles a year. And as usual, for the average car, it costs about $17 to cross from New Jersey into Manhattan. It costs nothing to leave Manhattan to go to New Jersey. And finally, 70 years ago today, the French didn't want anything to do with Vietnam anymore, so Ike said, well, we'll step in. President Eisenhower pledges United States support to South Vietnam. If there's Vietnam War as a beginning, that might be it. It's 24 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. The oldest member of the Rolling Stones, not a member of the Stones anymore, of course, Bill Wyman. He left the Stones in 1993, still works with them occasionally. In 1993, get ready for this, Bill Wyman's son, Stephen, married Patsy Smith, who was the 46-year-old mother of Bill's ex-wife, Mandy Smith. He was 30 years old at the time. Therefore, Bill Wyman became his own son's ex-son-in-law, the ex-father-in-law of his ex-mother-in-law, and the step-grandfather of his ex-wife. That's weird. He's 88 years old today. And F. Murray Abraham, of course, won the Best Actor Oscar for Amadeus in 1984. I met him when they were in town filming that god-awful movie, Surviving the Game, back in the early 1990s. He came into my record store, bought a bunch of records. I said, it's nice to meet you. Can I call you F? And he said no. F. Murray Abraham is 85 years old today. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, that is Alpine Air, for heat an air, call Alpine Air, and you're going to need that heater. I mean, pretty much all the time in the not too distant future. Make sure it's good to go. Call the experts. That would be Alpine Air. Still to come, an opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty. You're going to get to know the two candidates who are running for, well, to represent you in Olympia if you live in District 7. That would be Andrew Engel and Sue Ing Moody. They're both Republicans. They're running against each other for the November 5th general election. But first things first, Rhoda the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Pause for Pets is presented to you by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Merry Maids, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Club Crow Bar and Grill.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager. And today I want to introduce you to Rhoda. Rhoda's our 6-year-old beautiful brindle pit bull mix, and we love her here. She came to us as a stray a few weeks ago and has quickly become staff favorite. Rhoda loves her walks and she loves her people time. She's a big snuggler. She's super polite. She doesn't jump on us. She's not mouthy at all. She's just a really sweet, solid girl. Yes, you are. Loves her ear scratches. Rhoda can be a little dog selective. She has some best dog friends here. And she also has some that, you know, she's like, not so much. But yeah, we don't know about cats because she came to us as a stray. So we have no way to know that. Yeah, I really think she'd be a great family dog because she's sweet and gentle. I think she would do great with kids, personally. She's quiet. I don't know if I've heard her bark before. She's just really solid, sweet, quiet, nice girl. Yeah, and she loves her snuggles. She loves her people time. She loves treats. And she's smart. I think that she can learn lots of things, especially when hot dogs are involved. You're a good girl. She's a good girl. So if you would like to come and meet Rhoda, we are open Thursday through Tuesday from 12:30 to 6. And we're also open by appointment on Wednesday if you want to come and meet her then, if that works better for you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Pause for Pets is presented to you by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Merry Maids, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Club Crow Bar and Grill.
Another fall sports season is upon us. Yes, we'll be talking about Eastmont football, but also volleyball and girls soccer. Be sure and join us for the Eastmont Wildcats all season long right here on the NCW Life Channel, your local TV station. Coverage is presented by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Right now at Les Schwab, it's the deal you've been waiting for, the Score More sales event. Save up to $160 instantly on a wide selection of 4 tires and 4 wheels. Plus, every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Because nobody stands by their tires like we do. It's a better deal on better tires with the best service in the business. Get more from Les.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So I've got these pals from high school, the Rads, we call ourselves. Now, long explanation about the name, maybe another time, but we've been tight for well over 50 years, and we regularly get together for some sort of activity. Well, my buddy Bill suggested that for 2024, we go to the Rolling Stones concert in May at Lumen Field. Yeah, that's why I asked my wife, Rosie. I said, hey, would it be okay for me to go with the guys to the Stones concert? And she said, yeah, She said, better do it before you die, or before they die anyway. And then I thought, Keith Richards die? Why would anybody think that might happen? This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Here's your coffee. That'll be $5.
Thanks.
Oh, it's only $5.
Oh, I like paying double.
Why?
I've always paid more.
You wouldn't pay double for coffee. So don't pay double on your heating bill. Cut your heating bills by up to half when you switch to a heat pump or ductless mini split and get cash back from Chelan PUD plus federal tax credits. Learn more at chelanpud.org/save.
Welcome to the Gilded Lily home, where something extraordinary is waiting. Fall has arrived at the Gilded Lily. Luscious colors of rust, orange, and gold lead you throughout the entire store. Gourmet foods to delight your guests. Stylish linens, handcrafted jewelry. The Gilded Lily home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, your lifestyle.
Jefferson Robbins with NCW Life. The 12th Legislative District used to be the largest in Washington. That has been supplanted after 2 rounds of redistricting by the 7th District, which spans all the way from Colville and Kettle Falls to the Methow Valley and Waterville, and encompasses East Wenatchee and a small portion of the city of Wenatchee as well. State Representative Jacqueline Maycumber, who's a Republican, is leaving that seat for a congressional run. 2 fellow Republicans are now seeking to take that post, Andrew Engel of Colville and Sue Ing Moody of Twisp. They're both with us today. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Andrew, we'll start with you. You are first in ballot position, so the first question will go to you. In 1 minute, could you just introduce yourself to our viewers as if they've never met you and don't know what you're running for?
Great. Yeah, my name is Andrew Engel. I grew up in the district in the Colville area, where I've been deeply involved in my community throughout my life. I would say community service has defined me with been part of 17 community organizations, including Colville Rotary and the Addy Fire Department and others. And faith, family, and freedom are the values that embody who I am and what I stand for. On Sunday mornings, people will find me with my wife and my 4 children at First Baptist Church, where we've been involved for many years. And as you get to know me, you'll find that I believe in the freedom of others just as much as in the freedom for myself. As a result of my reputation and experience, Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers hired me, and I've enjoyed working with thousands of people, agencies, nonprofits, local governments, and state representatives on her behalf for the last 7 years. And so I believe that I have the connections and the right experience to get this job done, to be a strong voice for the people of the 7th District.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate it. Sue, it's good to see you here. If you could give us just 1 minute to introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. Well, I am here because I'm running for the 7th District, like you said, to use my experience. For those of you who do not know me, I'm the former mayor of the town of Twisp for the last 13 years, and in that time I've served through 3 federally declared wildfire disasters and worked at the state level on various on various fronts for many issues, also serving as president of the Association Washington Cities in 2020. So I have been working already at the state level. I also currently work for the Washington State Department of Commerce for the North Central Washington region. I am married to a paramedic who works in North Central Washington, and we have 2 wonderful boys who are now in college. I'm just proud to say that, you know, I'm running to be a strong voice as well of experience here for us, because I know that with our divisive politics these days, we're going to need to be able to have someone who can build those bridges, and I'm ready to do that here for our 7th District.
Thank you, Sue. I'm going to stick with you for the second question, and you have 2 minutes for this response. What would you say is the most important issue facing the 7th District right now?
I would say there's several things. I mean, you know, we're hearing a lot these days about the fact that the cost of living is really impacting a lot of the people on the ground. And I think there's a complex web of things that we can be working on at the legislature on that front alone. I know our various industries, agriculture, are changing. We're talking about energy needs to better support our working businesses, small and larger industries here in North Central Washington. And those are going to be continuing to be those conversation points that we need to talk about, as well as about housing, you know, and homelessness. What does that look like here in our district? Does look different than in other parts of Western Washington and more urban areas. So those are some of the areas that I'm hearing about. But in addition, one of the biggest things that I know I'm familiar with is wildfires. We continue every year to have the wildfires, and I was mayor during the 2014 Carlton Complex and then the Twist River fires in 2015, and I can say that those have been game changers. It's been a decade now since those fires. We've had some progress, but we know that initial attack and strong management of our natural areas is going to continue to be one of the things that we need to continue to work on, especially for the 7th District. This is part of our industry as well in the 7th District. We are very heavily surrounded by natural areas, and we've been blessed for that, you know. And so our traditional industries have been dependent on that. And I think that there's an opportunity here for that as well, for economic development, to bring some of those industries back, especially in light of the housing crisis that we're recognizing currently exists. So, you know, I think public safety is another concern that we're hearing a lot of. I know when I talk to people, you know, small businesses are suffering in North Central Washington. There's issues of theft, and then response. I know paramedics like my husband, you know, they're responding, and there's issues for reimbursement rates being too low, and support for law enforcement. We need all of that. So there's a lot to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it. Andrew, the same question goes back to you. What's the most important issue from your perspective facing the 7th District right now?
Well, the number one job of government is public safety, and it's something we need to do better at. I would say the 7th District does not have as severe of problems with that as some other parts of our state, but people in the rural areas have low tolerance for crime, and they see the problems in Seattle and Spokane, and they're concerned about that growing. And so certainly supporting our law enforcement and enhancing public safety is a top priority. But I also have found, as I'm doorbelling and talking with people, that the high cost of living is the biggest concern I hear about. Inflation and the cost of living is going up faster than the paychecks are. And so there's a lot of things we can do to address that. You know, some of it is the energy policies have caused energy to go up. We've had, you know, some things are outside of our control, but those are things we need to get a hold of. Housing is a major concern, and I've worked on housing a fair bit, and it's something we need to cut back on regulations and streamline permitting so that we can address those issues more appropriately. But also, you know, supporting our veterans. We've got parents are concerned about schools. We need to keep working on that, protect the Second Amendment. There are a lot of issues in this district, and I'm looking forward to getting to work on them on the behalf of the people.
Andrew, I'll stick with you for this question. Both of you have jobs or past roles in which you kind of interface with the legislature or get to observe its workings, and some things they do affect you or your constituencies. So what are some decisions, Andrew, made by the legislature in the past session, say the most recent session, that you saw and you disagreed with? You said, if I'd been in position at that time, I would have voted differently.
Well, this last year, they had the, it was the Puget Sound Energy, what's often called the natural gas ban, which maybe is a little bit sensational, but I certainly disagreed with that policy. we need all of the above energies to be considered and allowed. We need people to have energy choice. So I strongly disagree with that, and I fully support the initiative to repeal that law that's on the ballot in November.
And yourself, Sue, did you notice anything coming through the legislature in the past session that didn't sit right with you?
There's a couple of things, particularly pertaining to law enforcement, public safety, that has been an issue and growing concern, I think, in our local areas. Having had a police department, I know that that has been a concern. The pursuits, that has been since rectified to some degree, but I also have to say response. We have a major drug issue here growing in our state and country. And behavioral health, we don't have enough beds and the jail systems to really support our law enforcement. So I think that those are some of the laws that I'd like to look at and say, you know, how can we better create policy that works for our local governments and our local law enforcement as they're, you know, doing the job that needs to be done. We do know that, you know, with behavioral health and crime and indigent defense now being some of those laws that you're talking about, the policies, you know, how does that fit in? That's one I disagree with, because how does that fit in? I recognize that there is a shortage. I mean, there's overworking and too many hours for some of our defense attorneys, but you know, the whole system needs to be really looked at. We need a pipeline as well. So perhaps the answer is not that I disagree as much on the intent as, however, I think that how things are written, you know, are really going to be the devil's in the details on how it affects local government, especially having been and served in local government. I can say that sometimes it's the way it's written is poor and it fails us at the local level. So again, some of those that's the reason why I want to serve, because I think looking through that local government lens is going to be critical to making sure that our 7th District policies, the policies that come through Olympia, are going to work for us here in the 7th District.
Speaking of local government agencies, schools, they rely on bonds to build their critical infrastructure and their new buildings and to fix things that just aren't working for students. And they need a 60% supermajority to pass bond proposals. This year, the Eastmont School District, which is in your legislative district, tried twice to pass a $117 million bond issue, an investment for school improvements. Voter approval topped out both times, first at 58%, second time at 59%, just barely outside that 60% threshold. Sue, the question to you first, should the supermajority threshold be removed to allow local school districts to an easier path to win those funds that they need?
Well, I will say I do not think that removing this supermajority, I mean, the vote is going to be the answer here. I think what we're seeing, though, with that particular incident that you're describing, because the reason why I don't think we should remove it is that it is something that we should have absolute buy-in. I mean, you know, we need to know that changing the budget like that and impacting the pocketbooks of our constituents should have a high threshold. So I don't think lowering it is the answer. However, the issue that I think you're describing here comes down to what do we need to do to better service our school districts? And I think that's another question that I would be happier to answer, because I think we do have some work to do when we think about how do we budget for our education at the state level? What are those line items looking like? It sounds like there's several line items that are failing our students and our communities, our teachers, and our institutions. And yet we know that we're spending more on education than we have in the past. And so what does that mean? I think we need to really revisit what we're spending it on, how, and how we make it more sustainable for our school districts to be strong and vital. That is going to be a requirement that I would like to see for our future generations. Our future depends on it, and I think it's the job of our legislature, and if I'm in, I would love to, you know, roll my sleeves up to get that work done, because it is complex. It is not simple, otherwise it would already be done. But I do think we have an opportunity here to really revisit the system. It's time to look at it, because we are now in a different time, especially with what our students are needing to learn for the future, and innovation is part of it. And so again, you know, education will look different, and I think we need to address that.
And Andrew, the same question to you. Any candidate who is running for office and wins 59% has won office, but that doesn't apply if you're trying to pass a school bond. So should that threshold be lowered or removed?
Well, I believe that taxation is something that affects obviously everyone, and a majority. We should have a supermajority for tax increases in general, I think, but certainly for tax increases like bonds that are going to last for 20 or 30 or more years, where it's the people who are in the school will be paying off these bonds. They don't have a chance to vote on them. I believe we need to maintain the supermajority. What we need to do is work with local communities and build support for these things that can go beyond. We need 60% of people to agree. And there's other issues that cause people to have some trust issues. I do think we need to empower parents and school boards to have more authority with how they run their schools, and I think some of that could help build trust and confidence in our schools. I also think we could look at reforming how school funding is working. You know, the state's paramount job is to fund public education, and there's been lots of issues with that over the years or concerns. And so yeah, I don't support changing that. I think we need to look at how we can get the job done and how we can build more support beyond that 60% threshold.
One of the things that you mentioned earlier in your introduction, Andrew, was Second Amendment issues. And Washington has spent some time in the last 5 to 7 years placing new guidelines, new regulations on firearm ownership and possession and sale. House Bill 2118 just passed this past session. It established additional requirements for firearm dealers, including background checks for employees, bars and grates, security, surveillance video, and other measures. At least one business here in Wenatchee has said they have to give up selling firearms. They sell lots of stuff, but firearms is one of them, because it's just going to be too expensive to comply with that law. Does this need to be revisited?
Yes, I believe it does. I'm a strong Second Amendment supporter, and I believe that we need to protect people's rights to keep and bear arms. I believe a lot of the legislation we've passed in Washington over the past several years has been an infringement on people's rights. And I believe that, you know, what you're addressing here is specific to firearms, but also to the broader business in general, that our regulatory complexity is driving a lot of small mom and pop businesses out. And we need to simplify things to where people can comply in a way that is protecting the public safety and allowing businesses to thrive in our communities.
And Sue, from your perspective, again, the question was regulations on firearms dealers and what they have to do to keep their collection secure at their point of sale. Is this a restriction that needs to be revisited?
You know, I feel like regulation should be at a minimum for what we need to do. Not just, I'm not talking just for guns, but generally, because that, you know, we want to make sure our small businesses are able to stay vital. However, regarding guns, I do also support the Second Amendment rights. There are already existing laws that do protect these freedoms, and yet, you know, making the small businesses have to suffer when there's already certain safeguards is, I think, something that is unnecessary. But what we do need to do is focus on why are these laws being pushed out there? And that's what I think is the bigger question, again, going to the root of the problem, and that is the criminals. The concern is that there's going to be access by criminals to get to these guns, and I do think that there is room there that we need to better strengthen our response to the people who are infringing on these rights and making it bad for everyone, basically. So I think really focusing more on the criminal side of things and what we can do. It's also about behavioral health. You know, that is exacerbating a lot of the criminality that we're seeing. You know, it is people, you know, who are killing people. And whether they use guns or something else, I think that we really need to really get at the heart of that and focus more on that and how we can better control, you know, the criminal behavior, including as it pertains to guns. So mental health. And then the third thing I will say too is that there's a lot of dangerous rhetoric right now that I feel that, you know, is spurring the hatefulness and the crimes that we're, you know, the crimes that are fueling this conversation even more about the Second Amendment. And we really do need to take it down. And again, building those bridges is going to be key to helping that to happen.
Well, the 7th District is a very large district, as we have discussed, and you both hail from small towns within it, but there's lots and lots of small towns in the 7th District. Do you think, and Sue, I'll start with you, that you can fairly represent the constituents of the 7th in the legislature, just given the geographic size and distinction of all the places that you'd have to serve?
Oh, I would say unequivocally yes, absolutely. And the reason is because I've already had that experience. I have been the president, like I said, former president of the Association of Washington Cities, which represents all 281 cities across the state of Washington. And, that is not, I was elected in that position by all the local elected officials of the city body, and I'm proud of that. Now, what that entailed was 9 years of serving on the board, as well as, in particular, representing North Central Washington, by the way, in that. And moving forward, as president and the executive board, it really is, talking about the diverse needs of all the local communities, including the 7th. And I would say, I'm proud to be endorsed by the current mayor and of both the East Wenatchee, out east, Medellin Falls. I just had a wonderful conversation yesterday with the mayor of Chihuahua. And so, yes, I can absolutely say that although it's a huge district, I am very familiar with various aspects of the 7th district because of my work that I've done statewide already and would continue to do. So yes, I'm very confident in it, and I'd be excited to bring it all together and hear the various voices as we move forward. And also, I want to say, I focused on the cities, but I've also worked with WASAC, the Washington State Association of Counties, heavily, being on the executive board with the city governments. We partner together with the counties and as local government. And so I think with that, absolutely, I think there's a lot that we can do together. So thank you for the question.
And Andrew, the same question to you. A lot of travel involved in meeting everybody in the 7th and learning their needs and their requirements. Do you think you can fairly represent all those folks that would fall within your constituency?
Absolutely. So for the last 7.5 years, I've had the responsibility of maintaining relationships and being the conduit between the Congresswoman and the people across 12 counties. And so I've built relationships with the county commissioners, mayors, city administrators, farmers, all types of people in those areas. And so I'm very confident, and if you look at my endorsement list on my website, you'll see that I've been endorsed by a large number of those people throughout my area that I've worked.
Did you agree, Andrew, with the federal court decision to redraw the 7th district? The district was redrawn once in 2021 and again just this past year based on a federal lawsuit.
That's a good question, and it's something that's outside of my control, clearly. I'll say the 7th district was not the target of that redistricting. I think we were just on the periphery. It got affected. So it's, I'm going to go along with whatever the courts decide on that. I believe that in our process, I personally would have liked to stick with the Bipartisan Redistricting Commission's decisions, but I will abide by whatever the lawmakers or the judges decide.
And Sue, your thoughts on the federal court decision that made the 7th into the shape that it has right now?
Well, I think it was an interesting thing, and since I was not in the legislature at that time, I would say I too will just go with what has been decided. And that being said, I think no matter what the line looks like, it's a huge district, no matter. And I feel that it is just a part of it. And for me, I'm happy to serve because I'm in it now. I will say I wasn't previously. And so, I certainly can't shoot that down. But I will say I do love this district. I call this home, and I find this, the entire 7th, to be just such a gorgeous place to live. And I feel very blessed that we get to serve in this. So, yeah.
And our closing question, and we'll start with you, Sue, in 1 minute. Can you tell me why people should vote for you for the 7th Legislative District's House of Representatives seat?
Well, again, thank you so much for having me here today. It's been a pleasure just having served in public office for the last 14 years. I take that oath of office very seriously. It is, for me, all about the people. it is a public service, and I do it to the best of my ability always. I do my homework, and I think that the biggest thing that I would say that I bring to the table is, especially in our divisive times right now, it's the relationships, the trusted relationships that I bring to the table here right now to be able to work across the aisle with both sides. As the former mayor of Twisp, it was a nonpartisan position, and therefore did not, it really required us to do everything we can working with everyone. I know people will say they want to work across the aisle, but for me, I've done it. And that's what it's going to take in order for people to be able to receive us. It's a two-way street, right? It's like, on the one hand, we want to, but on the other hand, someone has to say, yes, I want to work with you as well. And that's where trust comes in. So I would offer that, and I thank you so much for having me here today. It's about experience all the way and the love of service.
Thank you very much. Andrew, you want to serve the 7th District as well? In 1 minute, why should voters choose you?
Yes, I believe that I have a strong reputation. If you talk to the people I've worked with in the eastern part of the district, Wenatchee is a new area to me, and I'm actively working to get to know the people here, and I've enjoyed the ones I have, and I'm going to keep working for that. But I believe that being a strong conservative Christian family man who has a strong, deep history in the dedication to public and private service makes me the kind of candidate people are looking for in the 7th District. I have deep ties. I have experience. I've worked with lots of people. And I just believe that that's the kind of person we're looking for. And I also am dedicated to treating everyone with dignity and respect while standing firm on the solid conservative principles that dominate the 7th District.
Well, Andrew Engel and Sue Ing Moody, running for 7th District State Representative, thank you both very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jefferson.
You're watching the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone. Welcome to Henry Harrow, purveyors of modern-day provisions. Stop in, meet the team, and shop their curated collections of home, kitchen, and bath goods.
Collins Fashions has a sizzling summer sale in progress. Savings throughout the store, from special occasion dresses, sundresses, capris, tops, shorts. Collins Fashion staff is here to assist you with your fashion needs Monday through Saturday in downtown Wenatchee.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here. When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
All right, time to send you out the door with Mother Nature's agenda? I don't know. It's the forecast anyway from the National Weather Service, and it looks something like this. High pressure is still here. It will eventually leave tomorrow night, but in the meantime, we got 2 more days of this stuff. Lots of sunshine, 56 for the high today, 34 for the overnight low tonight. We do it all over again on Friday. Sunshine all day, very little wind, high of 56. Overnight low Friday night, 39, because Friday night, while you're sleeping, about midnight or so, the rains are going to come. The clouds are going to roll in. A frontal system is going to pay us a visit, and it's going to stick around for a while. In fact, Saturday, even though we'll see some sun breaks and pretty mild temperatures, we still have a 40% chance of rain on Saturday, and then rain overnight Saturday night and pretty much all day Sunday, and I say bring it on. It is warmer air, as you see. We'll be up to lower 60s anyway, but a lot of rain, especially Saturday night and Sunday, and maybe a little rain on Monday as well. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.